Okay, I do see us live. I just wanted to give it another minute so I can see the notification before we get started. It's been, I think we took off about a week of no broadcast. So I just want to be sure people know that we're back into the swing of things.
I'm surprised Gabby's sleeping on her dad's lap because usually when she sees I'm on Zoom,
Oh, she tries to get in? Yeah, she makes her debut. That's funny.
She's
Great.
snoring right now.
So precious. I've got my little ones deciding that he has an appetite, so he is eating endlessly over here. Hopefully, you can't hear it on your end. All right, well, let's go ahead and get this going. And as people start joining us, then we can recognize whoever is with us, whether they are viewing it in real time or if it's later and we're no longer live. We want to, of course, thank them for taking time out of their days to stay updated on everything that's going on in and around our communities. Our broadcasts are your way of knowing, kind of a Reader's Digest version, really, of what's going on in the city. We've got our mayor pro tem, and other councilors that circle through onto this broadcast on a weekly basis. And then Wednesdays, we welcome some of our newer partners. So you get to see the faces behind those businesses that you may be frequenting or may not be aware exist in our community. And then once a month on Fridays, generally the last Friday of the month, we reserve it for our county updates. So you did have an opportunity to hear from our Jefferson County Commissioner, Tracy Kraft-Tharp, some updates at the county level and things that you should be aware of as well. So if you haven't already done this before, make sure that you like our page, are subscribed to notifications, or subscribe to our channel on YouTube, and be sure that you have the notifications button turned on. That allows you to get notified when we post content or have these live videos so you can join us in real time. Of course, we do thank you for being on here with us, and any comments that you give us, any questions that you might share away, and for, of course, hitting the share button on this video so others in your network can see that we're live, can also join us and potentially ask those questions or get some of their questions answered. Now, that is a really long way of introducing today's broadcast, which is our Monday City Updates broadcast with our Mayor Nancy McNally. Thank you so much for being on here with me and fitting this into your schedule.
Well, I see that I have Made and Created on there. That was probably when we did it live with that. I don't know why it's there, but anyway. Sorry about that. But I am a small business owner, so I guess that's okay.
It is totally okay.
I just realized it and don't want to go messing with it. I might lose you. So I think first we need to say a huge congratulations to you for being Miss USA.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It is so exciting.
Where was that held?
I don't even know. So that was in Orlando, Florida. Ooh. And it was on, the actual finals took place on Labor Day weekend. Now, I flew out there a little bit before, and I'm so grateful I did, because they grounded flights the day after I got out there because of the hurricane that was going on. And so we still continued right along, even though people's flights were delayed and all sorts of craziness happened, and eventually headed on the evening of the 3rd of September.
Oh, wow. Yeah, those hurricanes this time of year, it's hurricane season. My daughter, for weddings in Nantucket, she said her June has flipped to October. So I know this weekend she's got, I don't know how many weddings going on. And she's already gone through 2 of the hurricanes. So she had to be in Boston today at 4 a.m. to get the flowers for this weekend. So wow. It's crazy living, and they call it, when they live on the island, I'm going to America tomorrow. And I've said, you're going where? And she goes, that's what we say when we're heading to the mainland. We're going to America.
That's so funny. Going where civilization is. That's
and
awesome.
when you're there, you forget about the rest of the world because it's so peaceful and so nice. Yeah. You really, I do get it. But when she first said that, I said, where are you going?
Right? Wait, can you catch me up? That's funny. That is
well, this weekend we had some great things. I just want to give some shout outs to. Westminster High School, they had their homecoming parade. I try never to miss that. It is fantastic. We had Mayor Pro Tem drives his truck, and we have it all decorated up. And uh, Councillor Seymour, who's up for election, was walking behind throwing candy. I was throwing candy from the truck, but it was so windy. I'd throw and it would come back and hit me. It's a wonder I don't have
Oh
bruises
my
all over.
gosh.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day except for the wind. And then Jeff Jones was walking with his family too. He's running for city council, and I think that was all of us in there. But they always do a nice thing. They did change the parade route this year, so it wasn't quite as long, and didn't have as many people. But those that were on 73rd, always enthusiastic. We were right behind the band, so they're always enthusiastic. So you just find yourself jumping around all the time with all their music and stuff. So they do such a great job. So I wish them a great homecoming week and hope that they win their game on Saturday. I don't know if they play Friday night or Saturday. Probably Friday night, because probably the homecoming dance is probably Saturday. But then I had to teach that day, so I didn't get over to the concerts that were being put on from 3 to 8 over in Fireman Park on 73rd. So it was a busy day down in historic Westminster. They had things going all day long. But Thursday night, Legacy High School hosted the band concert, and they had, I don't know, a ton of schools there. There was 2,000 people in the stands, and they always invite the mayors and other electeds to come and give the awards. So that's always fun. And we got there early enough to watch the competition that night. And we were told we were going to be on hold a little bit because the scores get so close, and the top three were within hundreds of points. So they're busy trying to figure all that out so they get the right winner and everything. So those kids work hard. I mean, they're doing formations, they're playing their music. I sat there the whole time going, I don't know how these kids do this. So any of you band students, I can't do it. You can. It was beautiful. You work hard. And thanks for all the entertainment. Coming up this week, Thursday night, we have Bishop Park. It's a community barbecue. They want to ask some questions. Park and Rec want to ask some questions of what you see as a future for Bishop Park, and you'll give input. That's at 8150 Hooker Street, and it'll be from 5 to 7. Hot dogs will be served. So stop by and have your voice heard. We had a town hall last Thursday night at Crown Point Academy. It was nicely attended. We had great questions there, even a few from online since they're able to do that. So that was great. Tonight we have a council meeting, and probably the two things, we have a public hearing on the homes that are going in from 104th south to about 100th, and then we'll back up to Waverly Acres there on the west side of Sheridan. It's where people probably have seen piles and piles of the old dead cottonwoods that they've taken down, and they are shrinking. And all of that is slowly getting taken care of and taken away. But tonight is the first hearing on that development. And so, as always, anybody can come and speak. It will be first once we get to the main agenda, it will be first up. And I just have to remind people, 2 weeks ago, we had 2 public hearings, one for the budget and one for a piece of the uplands. And so it gets confusing when I ask for the public comment period right after we start the meeting. But I kept trying to say we do have 2 public hearings. So you can talk about anything at the public comment period for up to 5 minutes, but the hearings are supposed to be for people that if they had budget issues, if they had suggestions, if they had requests, whatever, that's when you talk there. The uplands is when people had voices for what was going in there, and they had either questions or comments or whatever. That's where they talk there. We had people thinking, oh, I was signed up to talk, and they'd get up and it was for the uplands and not under public comments. So I just try to remind people, I know it gets a little crazy, but you do have a chance to speak during those public hearings during the time we take that input. In that case, it's already on live and it's recorded. So we didn't re-invite them up to speak a second time, but just so people sort of keep that in their minds, that would be good. The other thing tonight that Sheridan Green people, and I just put it out on my Facebook because a lot of people don't just randomly go and look at what's on the agenda tonight. There's two pieces when you go to City of Westminster agendas, and the first one is pre and post meeting. The second one is the agenda for our meeting that is done at the dais. The post meeting, so we first meet pre-meeting to ask any questions counselors have, clarification. We give our reports there. Anybody can watch it live, or you can come in and sit down and watch it. But that's what that first half hour is. Then we go into our regular meeting, go into the council chambers. We have that meeting. Then after that meeting is called the post meeting. And that's where Sheridan Green, which is one of the schools closing in our city. And it was a unusual circumstance where we owned the land and we allowed them to build the school, but said, if there's ever a time you don't need it, it reverts back to us. Well, that is what has happened. We've met 2 times with the residents, and they gave feedback of what they would like. There's a recommendation on that of what they're bringing to us tonight to move forward, and we remember we still have to have conversation and all that, but what's on there today, if you read it, it states just to expand the park that's to the north of the school and make the whole area a park, and not use the school at all. So they would demolish the school in order to have the park. So we will have conversation about that tonight. If we think that's a good thing, bad thing, we have questions, whatever, but that's tonight. Unfortunately, when we have study session, there's not input from community. You can email, you can call, but until after that, it's sort of that catch-22. They've had 2 meetings, they're bringing back what was said, and then this is the recommendation. So we'll see how that turns out.
Can I cut you off just right briefly to recognize, I see Brenda and John, thank you both for tuning in. We had 2 comments that came through. A quick good morning message your way, Mayor, from Dave Carpenter, and then another good morning note from our Chairman Parker Brown. For those of you that are tuning in with us, we have Mayor McNally on with us, giving us updates on things that have happened this past weekend, things that are coming up, and including tonight's council meeting pre and post. We've done our part with also including for you the links your way. So if you're interested in the agendas page that Mayor McNally referenced, this is a quick flash up of that. She also shared about the pre-council meeting for you. There is an agenda for that 30-minute window that's available for you as well. And then the post meeting, which is the general meeting for public, which is included. And I do think it's incredibly valuable for you to have highlighted the difference between the public comment at the start as opposed to the other public comment that comes up, particularly related to items that are on the agenda. I think that is a source of, could be a source of confusion for some folks, or maybe feeling like they're overlooked or included way early on into the meeting. We do see a debut of a furry friend, so I have to pause. She must have noticed that you were live.
She gets on every one. I don't care if it's Bible study or what. She has to make her appearance and say hi, don't you? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This is our new little shelter pug. Yes. You came
Goodness,
to
she
us.
is
Yes.
adorable.
That's Gabby. Now she's leaving.
She just wanted to splash in, give us some love, and then go.
She's funny. Some other things tonight is we'll do a proclamation, Fire Prevention Month. It's always a time to remind everybody, whether you're in an apartment, whether you're in a home, what plan do you have to get out if a fire or for any reason that you need to evacuate. Always make sure you have a plan and that you share it with everybody that's under your roof so that everybody stays safe. Here's some dates coming up, stuff I don't want you to miss.
Okay.
October 12th, we have Oakhurst Park Community Outreach, and that again will be asking for your input and just looking at some of the different parks they're going to. They're just looking at what's good, ideas, whatever. That's at 9311 Lark Bunting Drive, and that's October 12th. I don't have an exact time, but you'll probably see that on the calendar coming up. And then October 14th is always a great day to take family. It's a freebie. Go to open house at Station 4. They always have hot dogs, at least. I don't know if they're doing hamburgers this year. I haven't seen the menu. But October 14th, it's usually 12 to 3. It could be 11 to 4. Again, those times will be posted, but it's a great time. And the alumni is always there. And they have a little combat challenge for the kids, and the firefighters are there. You can go through the ambulances, go through and sit in a fire truck and have your picture taken. And
Nice.
I probably am 99% correct in saying the red fire truck, that's our oldie that doesn't have a roof on it, that has benches. They've restored it so that people can take a ride in it, and it'll go around the circle there in Cotton Creek, and you'll get to take a free ride. So hopefully it's a nice fall day for all of that stuff to happen.
That's
and
fun.
Then we have the youth advisory panel. We haven't started yet this year. October 19th will be our first date. They're changing the meetings from Thursday to Wednesday. Anybody that's 9th grade through 12th grade can apply. I know Parks and Rec has had some applications up, or at least the link on Facebook, and I couldn't find it this morning quickly.
Okay.
But if you just called even our general number, 303-658-2400, ask for Parks and Rec, they would take your name, send you the application, or tell you where to go find it on the website. But if we have any youth out there interested in that, please talk to your youth, have them sign up. There's just a little interview. This last year we had nobody from Stanley Lake at all. So Parker, get on it.
Not singling you out, but really, like, some diversity of the school systems would be nice. Right?
I need to get Counselor Seymour on it. He always sponsors so many things over there, and I think they just had the Jog in the Bog or whatever that's called. So we need them to get on those kids.
Absolutely. And the links included in the chat for folks directly to the application. For more information on the meeting frequencies and criteria that Mayor McNally referenced, the link to that page is also included in the chat for you as well.
Perfect. And then the big granddaddy of the fall is October 21st, Westie Fest. And we need everyone's hands, toes, fingers, help. They're looking for 200 volunteers. They set up on Friday. So there's opportunities for Friday, more in the late afternoon and evening to get things ready. It's going to be at City Park this year. Mm-hmm. And then they need volunteers to run, I'm sure, the fun services booths with all the games and stuff, just helping people get in the doors, being a resource person for information. They need everything. So if I promised I would advertise any place, and I have been doing that. So since I'm here today, I'm begging for 200 volunteers.
Yeah.
And again, call that 303-658-2400. Ask for Parks and Rec. Again, they do have some links out there that you can, it's like Sign Up Genius type thing, where they just have every booth, every kind of thing that they need help with, either Friday or Saturday. They're not asking you to be there the whole time. They have it broken up into shifts. Well, hi, did her dad just, so she decided she needed to come sit with me.
Oh, and she's letting you know that in case you forgot. But I know we will be out at Westy Fest on October 21st with our own booth for the chamber, and we'll see if any of our volunteers want to also support the overall event. And I know that a lot of people are always looking for things to do on the weekend.
Perfect. And then I pulled up my email. City manager emailed us this morning, and you've heard a lot, whether Mayor Pro Tem is here on your lives. He's our representative to the Rocky Mountain Airport, and you know that we've had a lot of people in all of the cities surrounding that Jeffco Airport with the noise and the time the planes are going and whatnot. You know, we share with people at for the round table. Oh, that's Gibbs. Gibbs, quiet. Gibbs, come here. Shh. Their dad just left, so
that's why
they're sharing their displeasure. Anyway, Gabby, no. So anyway, we share that FAA controls a lot of that stuff. We can't as a roundtable. So we have, I know when we've talked with Congresswoman Pedersen, and I know Louisville and some other areas have been working with Congressman Neguse. They did a press release today. So it states that they again wrote to the Federal Aviation and Rocky Mountain Airport, imploring them. I'm just going to step away and get them shut up while I read.
You're okay. While Mayor McNally is doing that, now would be the time for you to type in any questions or comments. If there's something that you're interested in us getting to or highlighting, please feel free to do so in the comment section.
Okay. Imploring the Rocky Mountain Metropolitan Airport, RMAA, imploring them to take immediate action to mitigate significant noise pollution that is inundating local communities. Today's letter is the follow-up to an unanswered request the lawmakers made a little more than a week ago, outlining the need for the FAA and RMMA to pursue an airport noise compatibility planning agreement. It goes on to talk about what our representatives in Congress are doing. So we say thank you to them. And if I implore the community, when you see these folks, they're hearing us, they're hearing you, and they're doing their job. So, and they have it. Here's the key point. As a result, our constituents suffer relentless noise pollution at all hours of the day and night. And that's what we've really been hearing recently. I was someplace I was just shopping or doing something, and somebody said, Mayor, can't you do something about those airplanes? They're waking me up on Saturday at 5:36 in the morning, and I haven't heard them at that hour, but wherever he lives, he did. And here it says they begin flying around 5 a.m. and after 10, well outside the recommended hours of 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. So it's a long, I won't read anymore, but I want you to know these people are on it. We need to thank them and encourage them and keep giving them information if you have it. We have to, it's always good to give things with honey, not anger. You'll get further. And these folks have really sat down with us, I know at our level, and said, what are the issues? We've shared with them. They've gone out. I moderated a town hall for Congresswoman Pedersen, and it was over at Westview. It was well attended, and that was a subject. So she is hearing, Neguse is hearing, others are listening, and they're going to the spot that can make the difference, and they can do it at their level. They sort of look at us and go, well, we don't have to listen to you. So they're listening to the ones that are at the right top. So thanks
Mhm.
for everybody making some noise.
Absolutely. Well, and we have a viewer, Dave Carpenter, actually chimed in about where he lives, which is in line with the flight path. He works from home often. He talks and speaks to the fact that it hasn't been an issue for him, and he hasn't lost any sleep from the airplane or chopper. And I think that's an interesting perspective to hear all of the perspectives in the room, from the people that are hearing things to the ones that don't hear things, and the experts that hopefully can make a solid decision for the airport that looks at everyone and kind of encompasses the overall well-being of the community.
It reminds me of the small towns where I come from in Iowa. At noon, and even in where my grandparents lived in Minnesota, at
Mm-hmm.
noon, there was a whistle off of the water tower that blew at noon. So you knew it was noon, time to have lunch, I guess. I don't know why, but you became so used to it, you really didn't hear it. It's the same with the train
Mm,
tracks. I sort of miss hearing the horn at 2, 4, and 6 in the morning
right.
because I knew what time it was if I was getting up for something. And so now we have a quiet zone at 112, so they don't have to honk their horns anymore. So it is what you get used to. But I have to say, my husband has a doctor's appointment once a month over in Superior area
Mm-hmm.
in Rock Creek. And it's different over there. And I sit in the car and knit or work on if it's a Monday, I sitting there finishing reading a packet or rereading something I'm ready for.
Catching up.
And so windows open. It's different there because I'm in the flight path by the Westin here. And so the little ones come and go. It's the bigger ones that you hear when they have the fighter jets, but those aren't often. And but over there, it's like because it's so hilly,
Mm-hmm.
it goes against one hill, it goes against, you hear it like 3 times boomeranging. So I get it there, and I hadn't experienced that until I'm just sitting there innocently waiting for him to come out of his appointment, and that's what I experienced just sitting in the car. So you're
Interesting.
right, it's different places.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the airport was built, and then developers came in. I don't have a clue if developers were thinking, oh, we've got an airport. Do we need to do something different?
Right.
So it's living with something that was there. We've allowed things to build around there, sort of like when Stapleton had its airport out where it's so massive amount of people at the moment, and they moved
Mm-hmm.
even further to the east. So, and they're allowing building to go around there. So in 20 years, what are we going to have again? We're going to move to Kansas maybe for our airport.
I'll be there.
So anyway, it's real. We've got other issues that people are concerned about with that. And it's, it, I'm just thrilled and can't thank our representatives enough for caring and hearing and doing what they can do at their level.
For sure. I think that's definitely the best way of putting it. I don't see any comments or questions through the chat additionally for us to loop in. So were there any final remarks you'd like to highlight, Mayor McNally?
I have got all of my pages taken care of. I just wanted to be sure
Awesome.
if anybody from the Sheridan Green area heard this. Like I said, I did put it on my Facebook just so that people aren't surprised by it.
Mm-hmm.
Of what the recommendation is, but I don't know what 6 other people, I know my thoughts and I will share those tonight. And I don't know what 6 other people have to say and where we'll come on that whole issue. So
Absolutely. Well, I always tell people to follow you. They should truly, because you do post as timely as you get the information, and try and let people know about what's going on as it's coming up. So I think it's super important. If you can't make the meeting, you can still tune into it online on Facebook, on YouTube. You still have an opportunity to provide your comments and inputs, whether it's at the start of the meeting or about a particular type of item. And without really us prolonging this, because we've already hit our 30-minute window on having you on
It
here.
goes so fast.
It does. It flies by, and I try and shorten at the start, and it never fails. So I can't wait to have you back on here in another rotation at some point. And I encourage everyone to follow what the work that you're doing and follow the work of the council. And we'll be back on here, of course, on Wednesday. But I will leave you the rest of your morning to spend it with your furry friends, and of course, moving out and about in our community.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.